Okay, Hannah, how would Bridge Communication Pro app be useful for new graduates of speech pathology like yourself?
So we have started using Bridge Communication app on with our articulation kids. So we are currently in a mainstream school, and while I know that Danielle devised this app particularly to use with non-verbal kids, we've actually found a lot of uses in our therapy with mainstream kids who are fully verbal, but they have different articulation errors or different language issues. So one way we've been using it is for our articulation classes. So we use the articulation panels here. Say we've been working on our S sound. We use what's called cued articulation. So this means when they go into the S, they can look at it. And then that prompts them to be able to use the symbol when then they go through and do all the different activities. So that's been one way that's actually been really, really helpful. And being 4-year-olds, they love iPads, so they get right around it. Some of the language activities we've been using is to do with stories and narration construction. So they've gone through and watched Matilda, and then we've created lots of different things that they've told me have happened throughout the story. So we can then use those for comprehension questions, for sequencing, and being able to build on all those kinds of things, talking about characters, that sort of stuff. One thing that I really like as a grad is it's kind of a bit of a one-stop shop. So even as we've talked about it or as we've been using it, I've found or thought of different ways that I could use it in a variety of different contexts. So I had a hospital placement last year where it was in a rehab, there was a lot of old people with aphasia or with dysphonia, and they were wanting some kind of system that they could use for them to be able to get around activities of daily living, ask the nurse the things that they really needed, but they wanted something that wasn't so kid structured. So the pictures like this, but the thing with this app is that you can take photos of real things. So it would take 10 minutes to set up, say, toilet, fork, spoon, knife, food, lunch, all of the things that they might specifically need in their immediate setting in the hospital. And you could take photos of them. And so they can use that, and they don't feel like they're using, little kid cue cards or that sort of thing. They're actually using a real thing. And I mean, iPads are so common now. Most people will know how to use it. And the fact that it's so easy to use and so easy to manipulate and create exactly what you need from it is just a really positive thing. And the fact that, when you're starting, I suppose, coming out as a grad, you're not entirely sure what setting you're going to be in, and you're not going to have all of the resources we have here. So just